Hi, boys and girls. So today in math, we are continuing to measure. Last week, we actually started measuring we put our objects on the starting line. So we line them all up to see which one was longer, which one was shorter, if they were the same, and we compared their lengths. This week, we're going to continue comparing their lengths, but the difference is that they're not going to be on a starting line. Sometimes, if we're measuring furniture or something in our home, you can't actually line them up. So you'll learn what could we do if we can't line them up? If we can't put them on a starting line, how would we figure out which one's longer and which one's shorter? We will be on page 723 today. So go ahead and turn there now if you're not there yet. We'll start there. And here is your try it problem. First time through, think about what the problem's about. How can you find which table is longer without putting them next to each other? So you should have two tables on your try it, and you can see those pictures. How would you find which one's longer without putting them next to each other? So this is about measuring two tables, right? Seeing which one's longer. What are we trying to find out? How can you find which table is longer without putting them next to each other? We're trying to find out which table is longer. What information is important to know? The problem doesn't give us a lot of information. So we just know there's two tables. We know that we want to figure out which one's longer. So your job is to figure out what would we have to do to figure out which one's longer. What would we have to do? So you're going to try this on your own, and you can just explain to me, what can you do to figure out which one's longer? Don't tell me which one's longer, just tell me what do we do to figure it out. Come up with some ideas and then come back when you're ready. All right, so we had the question, how can you find which table is longer without putting them next to each other? Some of you might have thought of if we had, there was a reddish table, and there was a brown, I don't have brown, table. And we want to figure out which one's longer. Some of you said, maybe I'll use a different object. Maybe you used your arms, or you could use your arms. So some of you might have said, use an object to measure. Some of you might have said, use a ruler, or a yardstick, or meter stick to measure. But you got to use something else to measure if you can't line them up by each other. Let's take a look at what the model it says. Find which table is longer. Use another object, such as a piece of string. Compare it to the lengths of each table. So they put string on here for us. And as you can see, there's this brown one. Notice that part of the string is hanging down. This is the same size string, but you notice it does not fit all the way across. What does that tell you? If this blue string and this blue string are the same size, but this one's hanging down with extra and this one doesn't get across. It tells us, so the red table is longer than the string. You can see the red table is longer than that string. The brown table, look at the brown table compared to the string. The brown table is shorter. So go ahead and write in shorter. It's shorter because some of the string is left over. So the brown table is shorter than the string. So the red table is blank than the brown table. I'm looking at this string and the red table is longer than the string. So here's my string, the object I'm comparing my tables to. I have a string, and if I want to draw a visual, I have a string, and my red table, I'm going to do an R for red, is longer than my string, and my brown table is going to be shorter than my string. Which table is longer, brown or red? The red table. So the red table is longer than the brown table. And I know this because I compared both tables to this string. And I can look back and see that that brown table is shorter, much shorter. So I want you to think in your head, how did that piece of string help us compare the lengths of the table? We did not get them on a starting line. So how did we use that string to figure out which one was longer? And that's what this whole week is going to be about, learning how to use another object when we can't line them up. So here we have our first apply it problem, number 3. It says compare each comb to the same piece of string. Which comb is longer? Well, let's take a look. So this string is the same size, but you'll notice that the blue comb is longer than the string because it passes the string. The pink comb doesn't even reach the end of the string. So the pink comb is shorter than the string. Let's read what it has down here. The blue comb is longer than the string. The pink comb is shorter than the string. Now I like to draw a picture to help myself. So I'm going to help myself. Then I'm going to draw my string first. Here's my string. Okay. I'm just going to make my string red. Okay, I'm going to make my string right here. Here's my string, and I'm going to make it look a little more like a string, okay? And I know my blue comb is longer than that string, so if I were to line them up on a starting line, here's my blue comb, and it's going to be longer than my blue string. My pink comb, I can see, is shorter than my string, so I'm going to make my pink comb shorter than my string. Now I can easily see that my blue comb is longer than my pink comb. So down here I'll fill in. So the blue comb is longer than the pink comb. And the way I figured that out was by using that string, comparing each comb to the string. See the next problem. Problem number 4. Same thing, we have some string. Which dresser is shorter? So I'm looking at this dresser. The blue dresser is it longer or shorter than the string? The blue dresser is shorter. That's why there's leftover string here. See that hanging? So the blue dresser is shorter than the string. Let's take a look at the pink dresser. Is the pink dresser longer than the string or shorter than the string? It's longer. So again, if I want to draw a picture to think about this, I would go like this. Here's my string. I'm comparing both of my objects to a string. So here's my string. I know that my blue dresser was shorter than my string. And I'm going to have them all lined up on my starting line. I know that my pink dresser was longer than my string. So now you can easily see that the blue dresser is shorter than the pink dresser. These type of pictures will help you. So if you're not sure, draw a picture, draw that string, and then draw your shorter and your longer objects and see what happens. If you don't need to draw the picture and it makes sense, then don't draw the picture. So number 5, which animal is longer? Make sure you're filling in your answers as we work together. Which animal is longer? The lizard is, we're comparing them to the string. The lizard, if I look here, is shorter than the string. The cat, starting line up, is longer than the string. So what do we know about the cat and the lizard? The cat is longer than the lizard. And if you need to draw that picture, you get your starting line, draw your string, then you're going to show that your lizard is shorter, and you'll show that your cat is longer than the string. Now you can easily see that the cat is longer than the lizard. All right, and now you have an exit ticket. So you want to make sure you fill in all your answers, and then you can do your exit ticket. Number, name, watch the quick little video, and then show me what you know about comparing objects using a third object.